Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. Very, very, very low total carbs. I eat food that's recognizable. If you saw my plate, you'd say, oh, that's a real small salad with just like little baby lettuce leaves. Uh-huh. Is that cottage cheese on it? Sometimes. And on the other plate, oh, that looks like a filet, a tenderloin. Is it? Uh-huh. With butter poured over it? Uh-huh. And that's your meal? Uh-huh. Whole foods, keto, or carnivish, as somebody said. I love that. Carnivish. That works. And so, yeah, identifiable foods. I don't get into keto-fying. I mean, if you look at my quiche, you could say, well, that's keto-fying. Kind of, sort of, but it's more like an omelet that's just reassembled differently and put in the oven. And my keto pizza, well, that's my lifesaver. Don't touch my keto pizza. And then my leftover stew is beef, 1 ounce of cauliflower crumbles, and 1 Brussels sprouts chopped up in it. Butter and cream cheese. That's my leftover stew for you, with the little salad on the side. And so you could tell what these things are. And that's how it keeps working for me. You know, I don't have any high expectations of anything except feeling as good as I continue to feel. And gosh, I enjoy it. It's great. So what am I having today? Speaking of tenderloin, I put my food in advance, and I have so many of the same things over and over and over again that I can just copy and paste into the next week, and it's just so easily done. So these are my macros for my day, which includes the tenderloin and the little salad. 1,335 calories, 80.2 grams of protein, 1.8 total carbs, and my fat is 114.2. And I'm having some different things with it today. I'm having what I'm counting as 7 ounces of tenderloin. I haven't weighed it yet, but I will adjust it at the last minute. I am having my 30 grams of baby lettuces, and on that I am having 20 grams of good culture cottage cheese, and then I'm having 1 tablespoon of 1/3 is macadamia nut oil, and 2/3 are the 4th and Heart ghee butter, the pink Himalayan flavor. I'm having 10 grams of that. I put it in my little baby teacup that you've seen here, or coffee cup, and I put that on top of the toaster oven so it just gently liquefies, and then I pour that over. Also on my salad tomorrow, I am having 2 Pete and Jerry jumbo eggs that I'm hard boiling to get enough protein in. There just wasn't enough with just that 7 ounces of tenderloin, because it's a very fat-free and medium protein kind of steak. So that's what I'm going to be having. I have to make my hard-boiled eggs, so I will have that, and I'll put that on with the cottage cheese, the Good Culture organic cottage cheese, onto my bed of lettuce, with the 1 tablespoon, I think it's only 1 tablespoon, of oils. Yeah. And the hard-boiled eggs, and it'll be great. And then I'll pour the butter that I saute the tenderloin in over the little tenderloin on the Fiesta bread and butter plate. Bread and butter plate. Don't you love it? No. So, the topic for today is failing to plan is planning to fail. And I read about it all the time. The setup. I don't think I'm going to be able to, and fill in the blank. That's the setup, right? instead of planning what you're going to be able to accommodate yourself with, you kind of set yourself up for the failure. And a lot of people do that for social engagements. Well, I'm going to so and so's for dinner. I don't know what they're going to have, but I'll be good, I promise. And okay. And then, or I'm going away and I don't really know what they're going to serve there. Okay. And then little Sarah will suggest things like you can always have a steak and a small little veggie with butter, right? You can always have an omelet or bacon and eggs for, I always suggest when somebody is away from their home doing some sort of activity that's not the norm for them, like visiting with relatives or going to a wedding where you have to stay in a hotel motel, something like that, or just going to some sort of conference or summit or something like that where you're like really out of your element, 2 meals a day, and make the first one all protein. That's how I would do it. Just me. So if that means a cheeseburger or two, without the bread, or a 2 or 3 egg omelet with cheeses in it, side of bacon and sausage, something like that. Keeping it very high protein, carnivorish, and having the dinner with a very small serving of some sort of plant, and with the protein with some butter on it, be it like shrimp or steak or pork chop, something like that, or fish with butter on it, and just staying that true to having a 2 meal a day sort of thing, out of your norm, out of your element. And that's how I would cope with it if I had to go away or be someplace and just not be able to count on it. But I'm always planning because I don't want to fail. And not that we're talking about failure, failure as a person, but failure as, checking out your food plan. If I was going someplace, say Greg and I went to a wedding destination type of thing. So we get there and we don't know the area. And so we're staying at, the Notel hotel. And so I asked the desk clerk, what breakfast places are around here. And if IHOP was my only consideration, I'd say, what about local, dive type places? Because they have the best food. And I would ask for fresh cracked eggs. I would ask that it's cooked in butter and not in the seed oil that they might use on their grill. I might put them out a little bit, but I would, tip for all the extra service that they might have to provide, so I can stay keto without seed oils, because I don't want seed oils, okay? And I might even, have a pint of heavy cream in the little fridge in my room, and pour from that, bring it with me, have a little container that I could bring with me to Starbucks or McDonald's or someplace like that where I'm going to be picking up a coffee if I can't, get my own in my room or something like that. I'd probably want some fresh brewed from a place anyway. And so I would certainly do my homework about the foods that are available. If it was the sort of event where there's like a buffet, well, you can pretty much count on a lot of meat. I might do a very small bed of lettuce. I would definitely bring my own oil, my own macadamia nut oil, and maybe even some ghee. Ask them to stick it in the microwave for 10 seconds just to soften up the ghee. And I would make that my small veggie that I would have at dinner time. And then I would just load it with meat or hard-boiled eggs or whatever it is they have there that is a hard and fast identifiable type of protein. So remember, failing to plan is planning to fail. And, once you can be a victim, and I think we already have our victim stories behind us, right? That's what's found us here at this keto carnivore kind of place that we're at, with our metabolisms paying for decades of standard American diet, right? And so the next time you set yourself up for failure, you're a volunteer. You're not a victim at this point. You're a volunteer to what, what you're going to have, and the jam, sugar included, that you're going to get yourself into. And we aren't like that anymore. We don't do that to our bodies, to ourselves. We cover our asses and our bases and our food issues. The keto diet is probably the easiest diet to have in somebody else's house, at somebody else's party, at some sort of restaurant buffet, wherever you go. You can take care of yourself. You don't have to cave and then say, I did it. And then, then I had this dessert, and the next day I had this starchy breakfast meal instead of an omelet. And then, if you want to know how you can blow days and days and days of strict, structured, disciplined keto/carnivore, set yourself up for failure. And one day can lead to the next and lead to the next. And you don't want that to happen. And I know how hard it is to get back on track. How do I know? Because I've been through so many seasons of doing my videos every day. Well, now it's 5 days a week. It used to be 7, then it was 6, now it's 5. And so I know, because I've heard from you out there, coming back, tail between your legs, feeling disgusted with yourself because you failed to plan. Doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you failed to plan. There are lessons in this, and that's why I love the keto/carnivore way of eating, because you are an adult and you're accountable for your foods and how you're going to eat. To me, as I said, if I was going to be going away, I would cover it all and know what my options were. I would bring staples with me, like the macadamia nut oil, like the ghee. I might even bring my natural peanut butter in case of emergency sort of things. I would bring little spatulas, a couple of tablespoons. I, would bring a small thing of Dawn to use in the hotel sink. I mean, I really would cover myself. So there's no excuses. And, Esther's one of my dear young women from Hawaii that does keto. And she calls herself the no excuse girl. And so I'm taking care of any excuses before I embark on my adventure, because I'm not planning to fail. And if you are planning to fail, I feel bad for you, because I think the keto carnivore really makes you step up to the plate and learn what's going to work for you. We can go into any grocery store, anywhere, and there's usually a salad bar. You can buy cold cuts at the deli. You can really take care of yourself in many different ways. You can go to tons of burger type places and get a burger or two, or eat with cheese on it that's not American, please, processed. It's not even a cheese. It's a cheese food, which means it's not cheese. And so you can take care of yourself and get to these places and cover yourself and remain keto, remain carnivore. I know that you know this. I'm just reminding you of this before this season kicks in, where everybody is in a free fall for, the 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 pounds they can put on. And I know lots of people that I heard from them in March just getting back from the Christmas cheer of all the crap. And that's a long time to take to get back. It's rugged, it's rough. And I've seen it in AA, people that, step out to have a cocktail or two, and it's years later, and it's so hard to come back. Reruns are often hard. So if this is your first time and you've remained strict and structured and disciplined without even weighing and measuring or tracking, just eating strict keto foods, a small serving of vegetables, or if you're carnivore, no servings of plant foods whatsoever, maybe an avocado, maybe something like, an oil or a ghee, heavy whipping cream, things like that. You can do it. You just have to be conscious of what's going on in your life and conscientious of what you're putting in your mouth. And it's possible. I mean, you could even go into a grocery store and buy little bags of already hard-boiled eggs. So there's tons of options, and I don't want to see you setting yourself up to fail. Woe is me. This is all they had. Really? Come on. I know that you know better. And when you know better, you do better. So those are two of my favorite sayings right here. Planning to fail. Failing to plan is planning to fail. And when you know better, you do better. What could be better to take with you in your head? Two of the shortest little sayings that make you responsible for you. And isn't that where you want to be? Isn't that how you build and become esteemable and confident and everything else, because you take care of yourself? Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with keto. Really low. Mine is 1.8 total carbs today, and sometimes maybe a bit more, but definitely very low carb, carnivish. And if you need that one-on-one and you're struggling, then I have a little program, a 30-day program with a chronometer and me watching you. I have eyes into your chronometer. I help you make better food choices, because when you list what you eat, I can see that and I will say, maybe you want to trade that in. Like, instead of having a chicken breast, have a chicken thigh. Or instead of having an egg white omelet, have the whole egg. Or instead of having a fake butter, have real butter. Treat yourself. Kerrygold, Amish, or Organic Valley, great butters, or ghee. Oh my God, that Himalayan pink salt, Fourth and Heart ghee. Yeah, I'm wiping out the shelves here on Cape Cod. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please tune in again. I appreciate you watching. This channel specializes in people with metabolisms that they thought they could never rev up. And lo and behold, we have some people that have a 7 for the first number in their age, and they're working it, sisters and brothers. So you can too. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.